Welcome to the final session of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Part 4. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the final session of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Let us start with a prayer. Yogena chittasya padena vacham balam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram muninam Patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi. So, what Patanjali defined, how Patanjali defined yoga is, it is a control or regulation or channeling or mastery of the modifications of the mind field. So, in that, what are different vrittis? There are 5 vrittis he described: Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti. So, right knowledge, wrong knowledge, imaginative knowledge, knowledge that is present even in deep sleep, knowledge that is available in memory, all these things can come into thoughts and vrittis, and they can disturb us, or they can have some impact on our an individual. So, we have to channelize those vrittis. That is the idea of learning about Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So how we can do that? It is only possible with Abhyasa and Vairagya that we discussed in detail in previous sessions. And then we also discussed about the origin of karma and law of karma. Then Sanchita, Prarabdha and Agami karmas. And what is the visible result and what is the invisible balance that will be remaining after any action. All these things we already discussed. Then Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, balance karma, and Agami karma. This also we discussed in detail. So, after learning and discussing about all these theories of karma and law of karma, we concluded that my present situation is the result of my past action. My future situation will depend on my present action. So I understood that I have a free will to influence my future. I know I don't have free will to influence my past, or maybe to some extent to my present, but I can influence my future. So, with this background of knowledge of vrittis, types of vrittis, and law of karma and free will, with this background, we start practicing Ashtanga Yoga. What are the concepts in Ashtanga Yoga? Ashtanga means there are 8 concepts: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara are called Bahiranga Yoga. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, they are called Antaranga Yoga. But while starting these practices, we may get so many obstacles which can lead to interruption in our practices. So, how to overcome these obstacles is to develop one-pointedness. That is the solution to overcome the obstacles. And Patanjali Maharshi is kind enough to guide us in giving solutions or ways how to be one-pointed. There are different ways because people are having different mindsets or different vrittis, different prarabdhas and gunas, trigunas, the proportion of gunas. So there are so many ways. He suggested any whichever is we feel it is suitable or it is interesting for us, we can follow that. There are 4 attitudes that we have to follow to deal with people around us, and 4 suggestions for focus of the mind. And also he suggested, if at all we are not much able to follow the 5 suggestions what he suggested for the practice of focus, we can choose our own choice, which is really making us one pointed or making us interesting to concentrate upon. So these suggestions he gave to improve one pointedness. Then before starting the practice, we should keep on observing the state of our mind. And he described minds can be of 5 types: disturbed mind, dull mind, distracted mind, one pointed mind, and mastered mind. One pointed mind is the one which is suitable for sadhana. So it is the prerequisite to be mastered mind. One pointed mind is the prerequisite. So how, as he suggested, one pointedness is the way to overcome the obstacle. The 4 attitudes we already discussed, they are called as Chitta Prasadanam. Actually, this concept is really very useful even for our routine life also. Developing friendship with people who are happy. Uh, be compassionate with people who are suffering, and be glad and promote and support people who are virtuous, and maintain neutrality with people who are wicked or non-virtuous. Then types of focus also we discussed in detail last time. And the other one is focusing on object of our choice. Then suppose if anybody is finding difficulty in practicing Ashtanga Yoga directly, for a beginner, he also suggested Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga, it includes tapas, swadhyaya, and Ishvara pranidhana. And we can discuss Kriya Yoga in 2 levels. At primary basic level, if we follow Kriya Yoga, we can understand it as tapas as at primary level or basic level. Doing right action itself can be a tapas. And Swadhyaya means careful study of our mind, whether it is in disturbed state, distracted state, or dull state. And what are the gunas that are disturbing us? If we start studying, reading our mind, that itself is a Swadhyaya. Ishvara Pranidhana is abandon ego, means whatever credentials I have, it is not only because of my understanding or my knowledge. There are so many other factors which are contributing me for my success. If we understand the concept like that, ego can be destroyed. So that is Ishvara Pranidhana, and there is some energy which is Ishvara, who is with his grace, we are leading our life in a better and contented way. So developing these type of attitudes is I did the beginning basic level of Ishvara Pranidhana. When slowly, with this attitude, slowly if we start our journey and enter into a higher level, then tapas is considered as burning desire to practice the path of yoga. In that we can understand this concept as a karma yoga that is described in Bhagavad Gita by Krishna Paramatma, and Swadhyaya is study of scriptures, which is described as Jnana Yoga. Ishvara Pranidhana is complete surrendering ourselves to God, is Bhakti Yoga. Then Patanjali described Ishvara. He defined Ishvara in one sutra. Whom we can consider as Ishvara. Ishvara is that creative source. There is a particular consciousness that is unaffected by kleshas, that is impurities, karmas, that is actions or results of those actions that happens when latent impressions stir and cause those actions. So law of karma is not applicable to Ishvara, and with that consciousness, the ancient gurus, the most ancient teachers were taught about the consciousness. So you can say like Vedas. We understand that Vedas are Apaurishya. So we got those knowledge from Ishvara, and that is given
Mummy,
to our
బయట
great
వాష్ మెషిన్
ancient
ఓపెన్ ఉందా?
gurus.
వాటర్
From
పడుతూనే ఉన్నాయి.
there, this this hierarchy is going on. So then Ishvara is denoted by the sacred sound called Om, that
అదేనా?
is called Pranava. So this is also described by Patanjali. The
ఆపేసినావా?
sacred word designating this creative sound, source of
ఇంకా
sound,
వస్తున్నాయి మమ్మీ,
is called Pranava.
ఇంకా వస్తున్నాయి.
Asya Vachakaha Pranavaha. So this is how he described Ishvara. Then actually he described only he did not describe the total meaning of the letter Om in his sutra, but he says this sound remembered with its meaning, it is with accepting for the meaning of what it represents. So that japa tat artha bhavanam. So it itself, we should understand the meaning. He describes only the essence of that. So the deep meaning of Om, the actual meaning of Om, is described in Mandukya Upanishad. That is, it is shown in this picture. For Om, we have three curves: upper curve, lower curve, and the side curve. And above it, we have one half moon shaped curve, where above which there is a dot. So the lower curve of the letter represents the conscious mind or waking state, and the upper curve represents the deeper mind or latent unconscious mind or deep sleep. So in between the wakening state and in above the deep sleep is the dream sleep. That is the side curve. The side curve represents the deep sleep, dream sleep. And the dot which is above the this Om is that represents the pure consciousness or the Brahman. So the letter Om is A-U-M. So the lower curve, that is the awakening state, represents A, and the upper curve, that is the deep sleep state, represents M. In between A and M is the U, that is the dream state. And silence that follows after you meditate
వద్దా?
with A, O, Ma, the silence that follows is
గిన్నె
the
తీసుకో.
pure consciousness, that is the Brahman. So in this way we have to understand the letter Om, and
చిన్న
if
గిన్నె
we
అమ్మ, తీసుకో.
do
స్పూన్ తీసుకో
meditation
నాన్నకి.
after understanding this letter,
ఇది
and
వండి నాన్న
what
తిను,
is the
రేపటి నుంచి వండాలి.
significance of
రేపు నుంచి
this
ఏకాదశి కమ్మండి, రేపు
A,
ఎట్లా ఫ్రూట్స్
U, M and the Atman?
అయింది.
So we can
అయింది, తాతయ్య కూడా
see
వచ్చింది.
from this as a background that the in awakening state, in deep sleep state, and also in the dream state, in all the three states, the pure consciousness is the one that is present. So with this background, if we start doing Om meditation, we'll get better focus. So again, we represent the letters in our yogic model. The conscious mind represents A, active unconscious mind represents U, latent unconscious mind represents and the Bindu represents the
నాన్న
Atman.
బ్యాగ్ ఉంటే చూడు. No.
So after having these understanding, now if we start practicing Ashtanga Yoga, we can overcome the obstacles and we can slowly move the journey without any interruption to Samadhi. So we also discussed in previous sessions about Pratyahara. Pratyahara is the connecting bridge between Bahiranga Yoga and Antaranga Yoga. So Pratyahara is a very important aspect, that is turning our senses inwards. That is Pratyahara. We already discussed in last session in detail. Then Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, that is Antaranga Yoga. All these three aspects put together, it is known as Samyama. So once we understand the process of meditation, it is Samyama. That is, in process of meditation, we have an observer, that is individual, and the observed is the Atman or pure consciousness, and the process of observing. So the observer in the process of observing, he observes the Atman or the pure one consciousness. So this process, observer, observing and observed, should be made into only observed. So that is the final Samadhi. So now observer, observing, observed with meditation, there is still an observer, observing and observed. When the observer becomes extremely absorbed in the process of observing the object, the three collapse such that all there is only awareness of the object. This is when meditation becomes Samadhi. So Samadhi is a tool to become the observed. So the ability to allow concentration to go into meditation and then allow meditation to go into Samadhi is a process that is called Samyama. So in this Samyama, at the beginning we have observer and also observed. So the observed can be, if it is difficult for us to observe the right exact pure consciousness, because we never experienced it before. So the Maharshi gives some ideas about, you start observing something you know about it. And if it is a big one, so start your process from a gross to then slowly go to subtler forms. So just as the archer aims at the gross objects at first and then takes to subtle objects, Samyama should be practiced on gross objects and then takes to subtle. So you can start Samyama with observing moon, sun, stars, our body systems, then slowly moving on to settler organs like sense organs, then mind. In this way, it's slowly turning from a bigger, larger, gross objects to a more subtler objects. This is means intelligent way of turning our thoughts and senses, everything inwards towards the reality. So while practicing all these types of samyama, the yogi can get some powers. They are called siddhis. There are so many types of siddhis described by Sage Patanjali, but I am just giving only few examples. There are 8 siddhis which are described. They are called Ashta Siddhis, in which they are named as Anima, Mahima, Laghima, Garima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishatva, Vasitva. Anima means a person, an individual becoming too small like an atom. Mahima is too huge like a mountain. How Hanumanji becomes too small and too big and varying his size of his body as per the requirement when he visits Lanka. In Sundarakanda, it is described. So all these things are because of the siddhis he could do all these things. Laghima, the power to become very light like a cotton. Garima, becoming very heavy like a iron heel. Prapti, Prapti means percolating everywhere. They can go anywhere. Power to approach distant things. Prakamya, the power to having all desires released. Then Ishatva, the power to create something. Then Vasitva, the power to command all, or the perfect control over elements. That means controlling Panchabhutas. So, like that. So, this type of, there are so many other siddhis, like if you regularly meditate on mind, you can read the mind of other people. If you meditate on stars, you can observe the galaxy or the other star. Like that, so many siddhis are described. But we should not get affected because of these powers, and we should not waste our journey by getting stuck up in this siddhis. So what Maharshi says is the siddhis are like obstacles only. He who wants kaivalya should ruthlessly shun or reject all the siddhi as absolutely useless. These come in the way of meditation as byproducts only, so they should be ignored. If we get stuck up with these siddhis and feel that we are becoming almost equal to kaivalya or Ishvara, then there'll be a downfall in our sadhana. So, whatever powers anybody gets, it is a sign that they are progressing upwards, but they should not get carried away with these powers, and they should reject the powers and move the journey to Kaivalya. Then, once they uh, once an individual progresses in his in or her sadhana and gets the experience of samadhi, then what are the thoughts of that yogi? They get 7 types of discriminations. I have known all that was to be known, and nothing further remains to know. The dissatisfied state of mind has disappeared. All doubts vanish. Then nothing can give me any pain. By attaining Kaivalya, I have attained anything, everything, and nothing more remains. I have fulfilled all my duties now. My mind is at complete rest. All distractions have vanished. The gunas have all dropped away, like stones from the mountain top, never to rise up again. I am what I am, ever free. I am established in myself. So, these are the discriminating concepts or ideas or feelings a yogi gets when he experiences Kaivalya. I am all bliss and knowledge. I have no connections. I am Kevala Purusha. These are the 7 stages of knowledge or feeling of the yogi when they attain the samadhi. But once a person experiences samadhi or kaivalya, it's not the end. Even though the mind of yogi is full of idea of kaivalya, at intervals the previous samskaras overpower him. There comes break in his knowledge. All these samskaras also should be obliterated or entirely wiped out. Then he will have continuous knowledge without any break. So, as we discussed in law of karma, every person may be having still more vasanas or samskaras left. They may be disturbing while the person is moving upwards towards the sadhana. So all those vasanas and samskaras should be burned out. How they can be burned out? With abhyasa, with vairagya and continuous practice only. They'll be burned out. The vrittis that manifest in the internal lose their force and energy gradually and become like burnt seeds, and so do not trouble the yogi. So, as they continuously practice with vairagya, the remnants of the vasanas also will get burned out. So, the old vasana should be completely destroyed by continuous practice only. So, what is the journey? Samyama on gross object, samyama on subtle object. Then the person may get Ashtasiddhi. Then finally, when he rejects the powers and continues their journey, then they reach Samadhi. So once they reach Samadhi, the Purusha realizes his own native state of divine glory, isolation or absolute independence. He has completely disconnected himself from the Prakriti and its effects. He feels his absolute freedom and attains Kaivalya, the highest goal of Raja Yoga. So, the ultimate, uh, uh, the final outcome of this sadhana is from observer observing observed to becoming completely observed. So, this is the final goal of Raja Yoga or Patanjali Yoga Sutra. We have so we finished all the four chapters. So Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So now the final slides. I just wanted to give a small summary, final summary of the things what we understood and how to go about in our life. What are the steps we need to do in our life so that we can move into these aspects? So, first of all, the state of mind. Then, try to be more one pointed as much as possible. Then, at the basic level of Kriya Yoga and the secondary level of Kriya Yoga. Then, the Ashtanga Yoga. Then, the Siddhi. Then, the Kaivalya. So, this is in detail explanation or summary. First of all, in the outer layer, we have state of the mind. As we discussed, dull mind, disturbed mind, distracted mind, one-pointed mind, master mind. So, our goal should be to be more one-pointed most of the times. See, it's not that once I become one-pointed, I will stay forever one-pointed. Even that is not possible, even in a single day also. In a single day also, for certain amount of time, we may be one-pointed. For certain amount of time, we may be disturbed or distracted. Or maybe sometimes we may become dull also. So, first of all, on day-to-day basis, we have to check how much time, how much, as much as possible. I, I I'm talking about the beginners who wants to move in the journey of this yoga. So first we should start keeping ourselves be more one pointed. And it doesn't mean that suppose sometimes I get disturbed, I should not get worried. I'll become disturbed today. I wanted to maintain 10 hours one pointedness, but today I am only for few minutes I am one pointed for several. So much of duration of time I am in disturbed state. Don't worry about anything. Just start doing something to become one pointed and try to be in that. That's all. It's not that you put a timer and measure it. It's not like that. Just try to be more one pointed. That's all. Just observe your mind and try to be more one pointed. No worries for anything. Try to be more one pointed. And then we also discussed about three gunas, tamas, rajas, and sattva. So try to be more sattva. Actually, the sattva and one pointedness, they are interrelated. If we are more one pointed, usually will be in sattva state only. If we are more sattva, one pointedness is very easy. So it's like that. Then coming to the aspects of mind. Uh, which aspect of my mind is more active, and from which aspect of mind I am getting most of my thoughts, and which aspect of mind is uh, more decision making. Is it my ahankara? Is it my manas? Or it is my buddhi? So I'm mostly following my buddhi. That means I'm on the right path. So one pointedness, sattva, buddhi, their track is the same. So it's a continuous process. It's not that nowadays I'm my decisions are buddhi driven. Okay, so my buddhi is good. Maybe after some time, after a few days or within in the same day, sometimes my ahankara may be talking something. So my manas may be influencing something. So it's not always fixed for any mind. The mind will be jumping like that from ahankara, manas, buddhi, from sattva, rajas, tamas. It like a monkey, it will be jumping from one aspect to another aspect. So it's only to observe it and try to bring back it to again buddhi. Try to bring back mind from rajas to sattva. Try to bring back dull mind, disturbed mind, distracted mind to one pointed. It's like observing and bringing it back to its position. So then, uh, along with doing all these aspects in these three layers, then we should start practicing Om meditation and also start doing Kriya Yoga at primary level and Kriya Yoga at secondary level and Ashtanga Yoga. While practicing these things, we can enter into Samyama. Then once we establish ourselves in Samyama, then slowly we can move towards Kaivalya. So this is the inward journey. Uh, and the reference books anybody wants to go through about the explanation of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Raja Yoga by Swami Vivekananda is a very good book. And another book, same Raja Yoga title, Swami Shivananda from Divine Society, that is excellent. 4 chapters on freedom, commentary on Yoga Sutra by Swami Satyananda Saraswati, and B.K. Sainga's Light on Yoga Sutras. These are all the books, really, they have given excellent explanation about sutras with their own angles and perspectives. And you can also follow YouTube videos on Patanjali. There are small shorts, video shorts. Swami Mukundananda and Swami Rama. And the latest one is Dr. H.R. Nagendra's S-VYASA. You can just type on Patanjali Yoga Sutras, part 1, part 2, like that, you will get all these YouTube videos. So any of these things you can follow. So that finishes today's session. So anybody have any doubts, you can ask me doubts.
Yeah, Madam Ayashkant here. Thank you again for such simplistic presentation. I mean, it looks so clear. I mean, I don't think I have any doubts. I have only one thing to ask you. I mean, from practical perspective, this eight siddhis or the different expressions of Kaivalya, how do they? What is, I mean, in true sense, nowadays, do people get these, or do we have examples? Have you ever come across examples? People attaining these
Example
for getting some siddhis or getting kaivalya, all those expressions. I'm in bliss. Those kind of. I mean,
there
I
are so
know.
many people.
Yeah.
Like there are so many people who got siddhis, but actually, usually those who have siddhis and really yogis, they don't express their siddhis, but they use them whenever they are required, right? I know Swami, one Guruji was there. Right now, he is not there. He is not present in his body right now. He used to talk without a mobile to a distance person who is 300 kilometers away from his place. It's like a telepathy remote. He used to talk. So, siddhis are really there. I saw two or three people with those siddhis. But usually, those who really have siddhis, they don't express.
That's exactly what I was trying to ask you. I mean, you gave the answer which I wanted. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah.
Madam, it was told that this Tibet and Bhutan, there are several siddhis living in living body.
Pardon? I think, I don't know, voice is very low. I don't know why. It is from my side or I don't know.
No, am I audible to you?
Uh, Feebly, okay. I will follow.
Maybe your side, madam,
Actually,
because
what I heard
we can
is
hear.
hello.
Sorry,
What
sorry
What
to
I
I
heard
should
interrupt.
is
do, I don't know what to do also.
Sorry to interrupt, madam. You can increase your sound because I can hear Mr. Ganpati well.
I'm increasing my volume here, but it's maximum only.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
no. It was I just heard somewhere that this Tibet and Bhutan, there are some living siddhis who are having attained already attained the siddhis, whatever the seven you told, no.
Ah,
Tibet, Tibet and Bhutan are famous with several living siddhis, siddha purushas.
one more thing I want to tell is these siddhis are at very higher level sadhana. After too much of higher level sadhana only they are attainable. It's not very easy to attain the siddhis also. So, first level is at basic level. Then we have to understand the concepts, then practice something at our level, then slowly move on to deeper level. What are the steps to get to one-mindedness? I think that is step one. I missed some sessions. Okay. You can go through the recordings, Sonia. Uh, uh, Patanjali Maharshi has given some, so in some sutras he has given, that is, I discussed in this session also, Chitta Prasadanam, the attitudes towards people who are happy, suffering, uh, wicked or good, how you have to behave with people. If that is one aspect, and there are around 4 to 5 aspects to focus, how to improve the focus also. So if we start doing that, and along with that, first level of Kriya Yoga, that is tapas, swadhyaya, Ishvara pranidhana. In that, tapas is just doing right actions. If you do right actions, the mind is more cool and calm. The disturbance will not be there much. Then Swadhyaya is reading your mind. Then Ishwara Pranidhan is controlling your ego. So these aspects are the step one for improving one-pointedness. Have we covered all sutras? No, not at all. Because there are 196 sutras, it's not easy to cover in 4 sessions. At least we have to take 20 to 30 sessions to cover all the sutras. Right now, extending the sessions is not possible for me. Maybe after a few months, I may start again with in more detailed way. Are we doing any practical? Right now, not. The practical is the last slide of which I have shown it. In the first layer, you have to start reading your mind, and you can do this practical for yourself. I will give you one idea. At least once in a week or once in fortnight, you just sit and write down how many times you got disturbed, how many times you are becoming dull in a week or 15 days, and how many days you are at maximum percentage you are one-pointed. Then bring out the reasons why you are disturbed, what are the reasons, and then when you are disturbed, the disturbance is because of your indriyas, or is it because of your ego, that is ahankara, or is it because of attachment, that is ahankara, mamakara, are the two, they disturb the mind more. So is it because of ahankara or it is because of mamakara why you are getting disturbed? Then try to sort it out and use your buddhi to sort out the problem rather than using your ahankara or your manas. So that is one practical you can do till we start some more detailed session. How will we know when we are starting your next session? Yeah, you will be knowing through Dr. Srinivas. He will pass on to you in Hindumitra group if you are there. You will know everything because through Hindumitra only I am doing this. Okay. If any of you know Telugu, I want to repeat the same sessions, means like set of 4 in Telugu. After finishing that, that may be after April. So after finishing that, again I will come back to English and in next time more detailed way. Maybe more sessions.
Thank you, madam. Thanks a lot.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viram Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.